it's May from Canadian Fairy Edible Garden. Today it's the second week of September and we're gonna show you how our garden looks like. Come and join us.
Let's start here with our Valiant Hardy grapes, which we planted here at the side of our deck. So we want this to grow and use the deck as its trellis. And here is one of our kabocha squash successfully pollinated from one of our previous short videos. It seemed to be liking this location, which is south facing, and the support we gave it using this net on the deck railing. And over here is our first full shade garden bed where we planted our Mount Royal plum. It's a self-pollinating heirloom plum variety that is extremely cold hardy. But since we have other plums planted around, so we hope this one would bear more fruit. And below it are sweet peas, which we transplanted when we did the back garden fence, and it's thriving really well. And I think it's helping this garden bed a lot with nitrogen fixing work. And here's a great snack. And this is our first garden bed where we planted a number of edibles this year. And the green onions are thriving really nicely. And here's some basil, which are already flowering, and it gives a very nice flavor. And here's one of our tomato plants with lots of fruits in it. And I think the heavy pruning helped a lot with the ripening. And here's the white polar blackberry. It's growing nicely so far with its primo canes, and it's probably the one we're most excited about for next year. And here's the green onions flowering and giving us tiny onion bulbils. And here's some more sweet peas conveniently located on our deck. And it's perfect snacking while looking at the garden. And then we have the last broccolis, which we left to seed. And here are our ever-bearing strawberries. And the berries are sweeter now that the weather is colder, especially at night. Oh, and this is, look at this, it's a good size. Here's more tomatoes ready for harvest. Oh, look at those. And more basil on this side. And here's a cluster of blueberries, and the aphids are starting to take over. So we know that our city is highly alkaline, so we planted this in a container with an open bottom. And then we buried it so we can increase the soil acidity within the container. Oh, and right here is, I think, a blanket flower. And it's from the city's wildflower seed mix giveaway, which is really good. Planting wildflowers in support of our pollinators, bees, butterflies. And now here's our one and only apple fruit. The rest didn't survive the strong winds. And yeah, so we're just saving this and see if it's sweet and crunchy. So we got more kabocha squash on our deck. And this might actually need some support soon. Planted our mints in the containers so we can put them inside when it starts to get too cold for them. Here's the orange mint, and it's flowering now, and the bees love them. And beside it is the peppermint. I love touching this. It smells really nice. And this this one is an orange energy sea buckthorn. We need to plant this soon. Its berries have very high vitamin C content, so that's a good addition to the edible garden. And on this container is our Korean sweet potato, and we're gonna harvest this soon, so watch out for that. And right below our multi-grafted pear tree, we have some kale and some bolted spinach, romaine lettuce, and over here is our berry patch. We have Yosta berry and some more basil and this Munstead English lavender, which is one of the most hardy varieties. Then we also have the white currants, more basil beside this black currant, and more kale in there. And this is the brook red plum. So we're training it so its branches can support fruits better in the future. And some red Russian kale, which the cabbage white caterpillars are feasting on. Look at that. And on our island beds, below this Pembina plum are some edibles. We have the Bright Light Swiss chard, and this one is our Boreal Blizzard Haskellberry. It hasn't grown much over summer, but we're not that worried. Or not yet anyways. And here's some parsley. Oh, it makes really great tabbouleh. And on this island, we have white salvias for our pollinators. And here's other haskellberry to cross-pollinate with the other haskellberry. And I think this one is a boreal beast.
So that was our main garden tour, and we are going to put more perennials on this side, and I will show you our back garden where we're planning to put more vegetables and our animals.
So here's the original bed for the parsley and parsnips. And so healthy. And this is the tallest parsnip that we have. And we also have some Swiss chards, and they're thriving so well. And on this side are romaine lettuces, and we just added more recently, and some short mung beans. It used to be where our brassicas were, but the caterpillars just ate them, so we had to take them out. And on the side of the garden, we planted more garlic. We actually planted it on all sides of the garden bed. And you can see an ambrosia. We bought the apples from the store, and then we just tried to experiment if it will grow. And these are the marigolds. And we also have some radishes on this side. These radishes are actually bought from a microgreens pack. And look at this. It's so big. We're so excited to harvest it. Look at that. There's more parsley. And we have lots of parsley around our garden. And here's a pink astilbe on our shaded area. And we also have some damaged ostrich ferns, which are trying to recover from heat damage. Now here at our mini greenhouse, we have lots of bees. and they're starting to pop up too. We're hoping to harvest them maybe when the frost starts. And here's bolted sprouts and smaller ones with leaf damage. And these are the winter boar kales. This should last longer over fall. So we'll have more kale Caesar salad. And these are parsnips. And on this side, these are all our lettuce. And then more garlic on the side of the garden beds. And then old romaine lettuces, which we decided to replant on this side of the garden. And then more snap peas, because these are so good to snack. And we are planning to put an arch here on the next spring or summer, so we're saving all the seeds from the sugar snap peas. And these are the wildflower seeds that we got from the city. And these are our kabocha squash. See, we just try to experiment with the shape. As you can see, the kabocha squash is thriving so well. Like, we have lots of them. So we're waiting for the stems to turn brown, and then we can harvest the squash and keep it for fall and winter. And these are our potatoes. We don't have any flowers yet, so we're not sure if it's if we can harvest it now or we should wait until the leaves turn to brown. And more kabocha squash. These are the bigger ones. And here's more potatoes. Then we have more lettuces on the side and some Johnny Jump Up. My mom gave me this, so we're trying to put it on the side of the garden so we got some flowers and we can invite more pollinators like bees and butterflies. And this is our rose. And then more mint and Johnny Jump Up. And our hardy kiwi. We had a video of this. So if you want to know more about this Zone 3 kiwi, we're going to attach the video link here. And we're hoping that this kiwi would actually grow more and cover this side. And here's our apple tree that we got free from our builder. It's a crab apple Rudolph. It has some damage from the shipping, I guess, so that's why we decided to wrap it, and hopefully it would survive. Then more lettuce and kale underneath it.
And that was the end of our garden tour. If you have any tips, suggestions, or questions, feel free to leave it in our comment section. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Bye!